In the early 1990s, Christopher McCandless, a young American idealist, embarked on a journey that would captivate the hearts and minds of many. His story, which ended in tragedy, has become a poignant reminder of the allure and peril of the wild. McCandless's adventure, detailed in Jon Krakauer's book Into the Wild and the subsequent film adaptation, is both inspiring and heartbreaking. This is the true story of Christopher McCandless, from his idealistic departure to his tragic end in the Alaskan wilderness. Christopher McCandless was born on February 12, 1968, in El Segundo, California. Raised in a comfortable and affluent family, McCandless was an intelligent and passionate young man. After graduating from Emory University in 1990 with a degree in history and anthropology, he decided to reject materialism and societal expectations. Inspired by authors like Jack London, Leo Tolstoy, and Henry David Thoreau, McCandless was driven by a desire to live authentically and seek a deeper meaning in life. In June 1990, McCandless donated his savings of $24,000 to charity, abandoned his car, and set off on a cross-country journey. He adopted the alias Alexander Supertramp and traveled extensively across the United States. His travels took him from the deserts of the American Southwest to the streets of Denver, where he worked odd jobs and met various people who would leave a mark on his life. During this period, McCandless kept detailed journals and corresponded with friends and family. His writings reflect a deep yearning for adventure, a sense of disillusionment with societal norms, and a romantic vision of life in the wild. His desire to live off the land and embrace a simpler, more elemental existence was a recurring theme in his writings. By April 1992, McCandless had reached Alaska, a place he had long dreamed of exploring. He headed into the wild with minimal supplies, including a rifle, a few hundred pounds of rice, and a book on edible plants. His destination was the Stampede Trail, a remote area north of Denali National Park. McCandless's ultimate goal was to live in the wilderness, away from civilization, and test his self-sufficiency. He set up camp in an abandoned bus along the trail, which would later be known as the Magic Bus. This bus had been used as a shelter for hunters and was to become McCandless's home for the following months. Initially, McCandless appeared to be thriving in the wild. His journal entries detail his hunting successes and the joy he felt in solitude. However, as time passed, he began to face significant challenges. The harsh realities of wilderness survival proved to be far more difficult than he had anticipated. McCandless struggled with foraging for food and maintaining his health. His diet, which relied heavily on the local vegetation, was inadequate for his needs. He suffered from hunger and malnutrition, exacerbated by his inability to hunt effectively and his limited knowledge of survival techniques. By late July 1992, McCandless's health had deteriorated severely. He was emaciated and weakened by his diet. His journal entries from this period are filled with despair and frustration as he grappled with the dire conditions and his failing strength. His attempts to forage for edible plants and hunt game were largely unsuccessful. McCandless's final days were marked by a desperate struggle for survival. He had hoped to leave the bus and seek help, but the river he needed to cross was swollen and impassable. His condition worsened, and he was unable to find adequate food or medical care. His final entry, dated August 18, 1992, read, "I am too weak to walk out of here. I am not going to make it." On September 6, 1992, a group of hunters discovered McCandless's body in the bus. The discovery shocked the world and brought an end to a tragic adventure. McCandless had died from starvation, exacerbated by an infection and possibly poisoning from wild plants. The circumstances of his death sparked widespread debate and fascination. Some viewed McCandless as a tragic hero who sought to live authentically and confront the raw beauty of nature. Others saw his death as a cautionary tale about the perils of idealism and the harsh realities of wilderness survival. Christopher McCandless's story has left a lasting impact. Jon Krakauer's book, Into the Wild, and the 2007 film adaptation by Sean Penn have both contributed to the public's interest in McCandless's life and death. His story raises important questions about the nature of adventure, the limits of self-reliance, and the complexities of human ambition. McCandless's journey and tragic end continue to inspire and provoke thought. His writings and journals reveal a profound sense of wonder and a relentless quest for meaning, while his story also serves as a stark reminder of the unpredictability and dangers of the natural world. In reflecting on Christopher McCandless's life, we confront the dual nature of his quest, the exhilarating pursuit of personal truth and the sobering reality of human vulnerability. His story remains a poignant and powerful exploration of the human spirit's quest for understanding and the price of pursuing one's dreams in the wild.